Hello friends and non-neighbors. We're in Wisconsin, so we are probably not near any of you. I'm Chris and Alicia's behind the camera. Today I'm going to be showing you how to start a fire using only one match. But before I do that, I want to get into something that I think is really important, and that is fire safety. Super important that you don't have your long hair hanging down so that it catches fire. Watch, the fire's going to be here. No, put your hair up. So make sure that you have the obligatory hair tie on your wrist. Pull it up nice and tight. You don't want any stragglers out there, because next thing you know, brain fire. Not good, not good. I'm highly practiced at this, so I don't need assistance with putting my hair up. So this is what's called a fire pit. It's on a standard fire pit base, or you can also put decks on these. You balance it on top so it doesn't sit on the grass, because it will burn your grass. You don't want that. Here's what we start with. We start with something that we call kindling. So, to make kindling, you can use something that we like to call a big ass axe. That's overkill, and some might call it cheating, so we're not going to use that, okay? I like to use hatchets. Hatchets are perfect for making kindling, especially if you're going to cheat, and use wood that's already been cut by timber people. Doesn't make any sense to use this, but you can. You go to the end, you keep your hand away from it, and you just start hacking away, hacking away, hacking away, and eventually you'll cut off a nice piece that you can use for kindling. But really, since this is made by some company, it's cheating. We gotta get rid of the axe, gotta get rid of the wood. We're gonna use, this is part of a tree. All right, we call it a branch. We take this sucker, we bend it, and we get that in there. Super important to have a lot of kindling, because you want that to catch fire. Got this whole wheelbarrow full that Alicia gathered for me from the front yard. We're gonna get it all in there, make a good hot fire. Now, a branch fell in our front yard, and I have to honorably mention Celia and Sean, because they cut these for us. If you don't know them, that's okay. I'm gonna put these guys in here. We're gonna leave a lot of room for air in there, because when we start the fire, we wanna make sure it can breathe. Now, fires don't have lungs, but they need oxygen to keep going. So we're gonna put all that in there, get a nice little TP shape, throw a little bit of extra wood in the bottom. Now, before we start our fire using one match, I want to point out some safety tools you can use. One of them is this glass of water. If it gets too hot outside, you can either drink it or dump it in the fire. I've got something better, so getting rid of that. This is called a fire extinguisher, and we can use this by pulling this pin, just kidding, and putting this sucker out. But we're not going to need it today, because I'm going to be so careful. You could use these pre-made skewers that we used for making marshmallows and weenies last night, but these are pre-made, so that's cheating. If you need to, you can use this shovel to get some dirt to dump on top of the fire if you have to. Again, I'm going to have a safe one, so we'll keep that one nearby just in case. Super important to remember also to stay hydrated. I've got some water in here, and I've also got this 2 Towns Made Marion. Nice and chilled in the fridge. We're gonna pop that. Remember, always start fires after you've been drinking. Now, I did mention matches. Some people use these things. It's always good to have some of these in your pocket. Got a couple of these guys. These are called lighters. You use these guys to start fire, but only if you're gonna cheat. We don't need these. We're gonna make sure we have our eye protection to look cool, and more hair protection, because I don't want to have a blow up. Excuse me. Thought I was going to burp for a second there. All right. Now, one sheet that I will allow, this is like a little teeny bit of kindling. We call this paper towel. We find this in most American kitchens, not really other places. You stick it in the bottom, and then you take out your matches. Got a cool little matchbox here. And you just get underneath there, and you light that sucker up. And it's definitely going to go with one match. But if that doesn't work, I have one more good idea to start a fire with one match. So I'm going to use this stuff. This is called charcoal lighter fluid. Come over here. You take a small pile of like wood and burnable stuff, and you just kind of get that on there, right? Do a little fire dance, shake your booty, do a little more. Put the cap back on. You don't want to see that leak onto your lawn. There we go. And that is how you start a fire with just one match.